Yeah, and first of all, how come you're not asking me about our free throw shooting? Come on. Um, you know, the first question should be, what did you do in practice the last 2 days to suddenly shoot so well from the foul line? Yeah, I mean, I think that was the concept of, look, even looking at the net, and I'm not like too wrapped up in the net, but net figures in point differential in games, and so, it sadly in some ways does matter, because it shouldn't be about hammering people and trying to do it for the sake of the net, but it's just part of this equation. And but it's about that idea of, hey, we we talked about in the locker room this week, looked at our pace. And I don't expect us, because of the nature necessarily of our depth and certain things, that we're going to be in the top 10 in the country in pace right now. But we're 221. And so a big part of the conversation this week is in eighth in the Big 12. And so to me, it's about, are we doing what we need to do to get some easy ones? And we need to create tempo into actions. It's not necessarily that we got to run and shoot it. We're not Oklahoma. I'm not geared to, we've got to have X number of possessions. But, the thing I liked the most tonight was the pace that Sarah created. Sarah really created great pace, got us in easy actions. I thought even Jamie at the end, like her first go at point guard in a Baylor uniform, I think she kept the pressure up by pushing tempo. So I think that was the focus, was tempo. It was dominate the boards. It was, keep them in single digits every quarter. That it isn't necessarily about, hey, let's just get into a track meet and give them any shot they want. But let's still defend. But when we grab a rebound, that we get ourselves in transition and play with pace. And so, I thought Nalissa was really, really good tonight. After Queen decided to guard after the first couple minutes, she was pretty solid too, until she went down. And fortunately, we've got a nice little break for her to get a little rest. So, but you noticed as soon as Liz got her double-double, she was out and done. I don't, I watched Paige Becker's injury the other day, and there's some things you can control and some things you can't. But when you see it, it definitely makes you think about things like that.
So what was it that you did in practice from the free throw line?
Not a whole lot. We talked about it. I mean, I just think free throws are mental. Free throws are mental, and if you over talk about it, then you make people nervous about it. It's just, we were shooting 72% going into that game. We didn't shoot it well, and it was kind of across the board. And so, it's kind of one of those things. Hey, you're going to get another opportunity. The next time you get it, step up. And I've always believed in free throws. Like, you become a great free throw shooter on your own. Like, there is no coach in America that has made a good free throw shooter. Like, free throw shooters are made by them getting extra shots up. I can't take practice time to get 100 free throws in for every player. I mean, we shot 20. We shot 20, and I believe in pressure free throws. So if we finish a drill and it's Queen, step up and make a free throw. And if she makes it, we go to water break. If she misses it, we run it down and back and she shoots again. If she misses that one, we run 2 down and backs. And so I just think that creates a more real environment in terms of, kind of the idea of that pressure, and to start the game, even with technical foul shots, because they didn't have their starting lineup in, it was a chance to step up there and right away, see how, and that was one of the 4 we missed, but I thought it was good that Liz knocked down that first one.
Nikki, was there any evaluation or update?
She sprained her ankle. She rolled her ankle. I don't think it's a high ankle sprain. I certainly think it's probably going to be pretty tender. I know it hurt. But if there's such a thing as a good time, we've got 2 days off and then, have this length of time because of final before our next game, like, we'll be super careful. It's not about how quickly you can get somebody back, but how quickly you can get them back comfortably. We're doing the same thing with Jaden, just being super careful right now. Because we can't win a conference championship today, but we can lose one. So, it's about keeping people healthy to the best of our ability.
Jaden was in a boot. Is that just cautionary?
she's been in a boot now for about 3 weeks. You know, we played her, but we just shut her down leading up this stretch where, you know, she was doing some practice. And so is it precautionary? Yes. Is it necessary? Yes. So it's a little of both. And hopefully, you know, keeping pressure off her shin, you know, keeps her in a space that she can really get 100% healthy.
Nikki, Jamie did this at Oklahoma State. Is this a good sign for her? I mean,
If she's back there, what are we going to say? Jamie, what are we going to say about Jamie sitting in the back of the room?
sorry.
I have a ton of confidence in Jamie. Her ability to shoot the basketball. She's not asked to play a lot of point here. She's certainly played some at Oklahoma State. But, you know, I think she rose to the challenge at the end. You know, hitting those. And you know what? People don't understand that as much as I want to give her credit for hitting those threes at the end of the quarter, those are the ones that are almost the easiest to take because there's so little time and you have to be prepared on the catch. You know, the only thing I ever tell Jamie when it comes to shooting is have your feet and hands ready and open your mouth. You know, like I think this is honestly like what I expect every game. Like I think she's a player that if her footwork is right, if her head is right, then, you know, she's capable of stepping up and making 5 or 6 threes a game. I mean, I just think she's that good a shooter that when she gets it in a rhythm that she can knock it down. Obviously, you know, they played a zone. There was a lot of open players out there, so, you know, they got to take their time, step into it, knew they were open ahead of time. They did go to man, you know, late in the third and stayed with it the rest of the game. But yeah, I think she's, you know, I think she's one of the best shooters in America. And it should be her goal to be the best shooter in America.
You probably had games in the WNBA where you had groups of kids in, but the number of kids that were there today and sort of the high pitch, you know, did you hear that from the bench at all?
Yeah, you hear it. Yeah, you hear it, you know, and you hear it the most. And people don't realize, like, I'm pretty tunnel vision during a game. I don't hear a lot, you know, if someone says the activations were boring or I have no idea what's going on the video board, you know, in a timeout or a quarter break or anything like that. So, but you certainly hear it because you're trying to communicate to your players at the other end of the court. And if they put "get loud" up on the board, like there was no question that they were going to get loud. So I didn't have to work too hard to, you know, get the fans engaged today. You know, versus I felt like in the last game we really needed them, and so I asked them to stand up, and then man, they were great the whole fourth quarter. You don't have to ask kids. Like if they see something on the board that says "get loud," it's just, you know, they're told to be quiet all day long at school. So this is their opportunity to kind of legally be loud.
I always feel like that. You know, that's how you gain confidence in yourself. So even when I miss, I'm neutral. I make it, I'm neutral. You know, I just had to learn to shoot the ball with confidence, you know, because once you get down on yourself, then, you know, you're not a factor to the team.
Nikki said that those are easy threes. You have pounds at the end of it. Are those easy? I mean, do you feel like they're easy?
Yeah, I mean, the first one I was just standing there, so I really tried to be a decoy, and then I ended up being a part of the play. So, yeah, I guess that was the easiest play we ever ran.
Caitlin, I saw you kind of go up and pat Queen. I mean, were you just particularly with everything you've seen in basketball, is that concerning, I guess? And you've seen some of it yourself, too.
Yeah, I just want to make sure she was okay. You know, obviously she got helped off the court. We have 10 people. I've seen quite a few injuries here at Baylor, knock on wood, that I've seen and even been a part of. So I just want to make sure she was okay before stepping on the court. So.
Did she have any reaction after she got hurt or anything?
Did she have it? We saw in the locker room. She's still high-spirited. I think she's going to be all right and make it through. I think rolling your ankle is never fun, and it's always that little shock kind of pain. It's the same as when you hurt your knee or anything else like that. It's kind of like, oh, shoot. You know, like I felt something there. And then usually, depending on a little while after, you can kind of feel it out and see how it is.
You've been a part of a few of these games where all the elementary school kids come in. Do you look forward to it? Do you feed off of the energy at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the main things we talked before the game. And when we huddled up coming out, that's kind of something I just said as well. Like, just have fun. You know, we have a bit of older fans. You know, yeah, they'll cheer for us, things like that, but it's never kids just screaming their hearts out. Like, even Nikki said it, they're going to scream no matter what. You miss a lip, they're still going to scream. You're still going to have excitement. So I think it was fun for us just having them come and enjoy watching us play. So.
Yeah, they were even screaming when Kate was shooting a free throw, and I'm in the crowd like,
Bro, I was sitting there and I
be
said,
quiet.
I said, stop.
And
just
I'm like,
for a second."
no.
I'm pretty sure that was the one free throw I missed too. And
Yes, and I was like,
I said, man, I just need one.
and then they sat down once they realized I was telling them, no, you can't do
No,
that.
I started laughing at that. I was like mad at myself, but I was like, okay, they're kids. But yeah.
Caitlin, she pulled Queen real quick and put you in. I mean, was it? I guess it was to kind of wake her up, but also, I mean, did you feel like you had to come and give defense right away?
Absolutely. I think we were doing fine on defense. I think our biggest thing in some of these games, I mean, we're about to play Michigan in 10 days. There's no necessary reason. I mean, you saw Nikki pull lists early. There's no reason for some of those, especially her being able to, like, get injured. There's no reason for us to do it. You know, it can happen any single game. And obviously, when I come on the court, I always want to bring defense. I always want to be a leader out there, so.
You mentioned free throws. How much was that emphasized in practice, or did she kind of soft play it, I guess?
Not soft play. I think she just understands that if we want to make free throws, we need to be in the gym on our own. She's not going to sit there and do free throws and get on the line and make us run when there's no pressure in practice. You know, she literally said that to us coming in. She said, you need to want to make free throws. You need to come in, do it in your own time. And obviously she expects a lot of us, and that's just something we need to get done on our own.
So if I heard that right, you're blaming the screaming kids for your one missed free
Yeah. Quote that. It was because of the kids.
throw.